Gilbert on the mound, and do you have any kind of plan in your head on how you want to utilize him both in the outfield and on the mound, or are you just kind of going with the flow, so to speak?
No, I think probably the role he'll most be often used is at Georgia Southern. We had used Redmond twice, and we basically nominated him as our closer after Hunley. So Leith was so strong that we didn't have to go to Hunley early. So that's kind of where he would have come into play. Or if we get into midweek action, he's a potential starter, again, closer if we've used up Redmond or those other guys. But for today, we felt like if we got on the scoreboard early, we'd be able to kind of manipulate guys the way we wanted to and move guys in and out. So that was where it was a little easier for us to just say, hey, we want the guy to get 2 innings. Hopefully that makes sense.
Coach, what did you like about what Connor Housley gave you yesterday, kind of in his own inning, but then obviously today coming in a more difficult situation and getting out of it?
Yeah, there's an intensity there and a focus that we like. I mean, I've said it to the guys. It's regardless of how good you think he is or how good he ends up being by the end of the year or the end of his career, it's very important to him to be good. And he's worked his butt off, in particular when everybody had to go into hiding and quarantine. We were getting nonstop videos of him working out and throwing bullpens and working on different things. And he and Coach A have formed a good relationship. So he's a guy I think we now can say we can trust. I mean, last night was very good, but tonight was more of get ready as fast as you can. Here's a mess, get us out of it. And he did it in style.
All right, we'll go to Ryan next, and then Troy, and then Wes.
On one of your first looks at a lot of young guys over the last 2 days, just what did you see from that group as a whole, and did anyone's play stand out?
Yeah, I thought until the last inning, Booker was kind of the best guy out of all of them. I mean, that's a ball that needs to be caught in the 9th inning. We didn't communicate well enough to him. And then who knows, what else went on in that play in particular. But he didn't play like a freshman. He played incredibly mature, took some really good swings, not without a couple things we pointed out to him on the bases. But he showed some promising things down the road, but he also put himself in a position where he can make an argument in certain situations to get additional action. As far as the whole group, I mean, it's just good to get it out of the way. Some guys handle it better than others. You don't have a soul if you're not a little bit nervous or have some butterflies or extra adrenaline going. And, for the most part, everyone that got their first action handled it well. A couple guys are going to be itching to get back out there because it didn't go so well. If anything, everybody needs to be glad to have it behind them and move on to the next rep.
Tony, I was going to ask you about Kyle. I guess just how important is it for a freshman to have some success early and get that kind of confidence builder in the first week of the season like he has here?
Most guys, unfortunately, are result-based confident. So when things go well, it boosts their ego, and when it doesn't, it goes the other way. Now, I think Kyle has natural confidence that he's going to believe in himself either way. But at the same time, again, you're not human if you don't want to feel like you fit in. And these first-year guys, I don't care who they are, junior college guys or freshmen, and I don't just mean this team, I mean any team. First-year guys, sometimes struggle to feel like they belong or they really fit in. Where you see it a lot, and to take this further, is SEC play. I've seen freshmen and first-year guys play well, and then you get to SEC play, and they're not quite certain they fit in. And the bottom line is if they're playing on an SEC team, then they fit in against SEC competition. So, again, I'm just really glad to have his first start, his first repetitions, other guys behind him, so they can realize this is nothing to build up into something, like slaying a dragon. It's just baseball, what we've been doing here every day since we've gotten back from the whole mess that had us leave the park, I guess.
Tony, what are your thoughts on Steenstra as a prospect? I mean, you don't really see a lot of guys with that size move that well and be able to play shortstop. Is he as toolsy as it looks like he is?
No, he is, and he garnered a lot of pro attention when he kind of blew up in junior college, and he had an arm injury in junior college as a pitcher, so that's why he had Tommy John, and he came back from that. He did not get a full fall with us, and I think he's still light years away from being as physical as he can be. I mean, he's going to be a huge person. He's got an incredible arm strength. That's not going to go away. I think he's still feeling for how to attack certain balls on the infield at this level now that everybody can run pretty well. And then how to attack pitching at this level too. And you see a better and better guy every day. I had a conversation with him. He wants to push to be, out there every day on this team. But we're certainly excited about the fact that he could be the general at that position next year if he's still around. But like you said, he's a pro prospect.
We'll go back to Mike.
Yeah, Tony, what do you see coming in this weekend with Indiana State? What's kind of their strength, and how do you figure they match up?
Yeah, we're facing a lefty with a 0 ERA. So that's the first thing that sticks out to us. Like a lot of programs in college baseball, the theme won't end. There's a lot of older guys back on every team. So every team is going to have experience, maturity, a little bit of edge to them because they didn't play last year, and guys are at the end of their career again with all those circumstances. So certainly some strong pitching coming at us, and a team that's known to be gritty. And they gave Pittsburgh a run for their money in what seemed to be a pretty good series, if I'm not mistaken, with that scouting stuff. We always peek at that a little bit. So I think step one for everybody, you guys included, is that Friday night, a true Friday night pitching matchup coming your way.
Now we'll go to Ben next.
Coach, how would you assess the outfield going into the weekend, just with Booker getting some at bats under his belt and Evans' wrist looks fine? Christian Scott has put together some nice at bats here lately. Just how would you assess kind of where those guys stand going into the weekend?
I think it's similar to last year. Now, Zach Daniels came on so strong, he kind of solidified a spot. But last year we thought we might have 5 or 6 guys that we would maneuver around and maybe play some matchups, maybe keep guys fresh. Drew Gilbert takes the mound. You don't skip a beat with the guy you get out there. So right now we need to keep, getting as much experience thrown at Kyle Booker as possible. Make sure Evan Russell's taking care of that wrist, which I think he'll be fine. He's on the come up with that. And then those other 3 guys that you mentioned, those guys need reps. So it's on me to juggle it. It's on them to keep doing what they need to do to prove that they need to be on the field.
All right, we'll take one more for Coach. We'll finish up with Tim.
Tony, you mentioned that baseball is a game of confidence and it's results driven. When you get that confidence going, scoring a lot of runs in back-to-back nights, that's got to put a little confidence in those kids, at the plate.
No, it does. I think it basically is an affirmation for the work they've put in. Some guys have put in extra swings in the cage or out on the field, and you don't want to not see some sort of positive feedback on the scoreboard. And we preach, as does probably every other team in our league, to focus on things that aren't necessarily result orientated, but they're young kids. So they're going to look at that stuff. And even though they don't, I mean, I joked with, I don't think I'm going to get in trouble saying this, but I mean, Pavoloni hit a double off the wall on Friday night to open up the season, and their outfielder hustled, crashed into the wall, didn't make the play, and they ruled that play an error. So in the dugout tonight, I asked Connor, did you hit a double? And the appropriate answer was yes. And that's what he answered, So you have to be mature enough to judge what is success and did you do your job and did you not? And I think that's one example right there. But again, they're kids, so they need to see some things at some point on the scoreboard or on the stat line. So hopefully we can have a balance of both.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Coach. We'll have Drew Gilbert and Evan Russell here in just a second.